Hi, everyone. So today we're going to talk about committing to permanent change, right? Because let's face it, temporary change yields temporary results, and that's not what we want. So we've entered week 5 of our challenge, and so we've developed some great habits and learned some great tools. But we want these habits, we want you to keep these habits for a lifetime, far beyond the 6 weeks, right? So I want you to think about one or two things from that you can focus on this challenge. Now, for some of you, it's your first challenge. For some of you, it's your second or third or fourth. You're welcome to roll into the next one so you can keep the support rolling. Maybe join with a friend. But regardless of what number challenge this may be for you, I want you to focus on one or two things that you can really mean what you say when you commit to these changes, right? So if you're brand new, it could be as simple as committing to having your shake for breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up and a second shake sometime during the day, either for a meal or a snack, to keep your meal plan on point, right? Maybe you'll commit to drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. Make sure you get enough water each day. Maybe you're going to commit to keeping active, maybe working out on a regular basis if you weren't already, or even something as simple as parking your car further away or taking the stairs as often as you can instead of the elevator or escalator. All these things are great ideas, right? Maybe um, you go to happy hour every night after work or every week, and you're going to commit to either one of two things: either finding a different activity to spend time with your friends, something more active like a walk or I don't know, rock climbing, I don't know, something fun, so you can still enjoy your friendship. Or if you do go to happy hour, you're going to make the event about hanging out with your friends, not about the food and the drinking, right? Because let's face it, just about most of the food that's available for happy hour and the drinks are not in alignment with your goals. They're just not. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying be very aware of what you're consuming then, right? So maybe it's something different. Like I'm going to share with you my ice cream story that I have shared before. So my husband has ice cream just about every night, right? His numbers are fine. He's in great shape, body fat wise. He's good to go. He can have ice cream. Plus, he has a little dish, like a serving size, which is crazy to me, right? It's not crazy. It's serving size. Anyway, so I used to volunteer to get it for him because I would have a spoonful like each and every time I got it for him. So I've committed a while back to not doing that. I don't volunteer as much to get him his ice cream, but when I do, I just don't have a spoonful. That doesn't mean I'm never having ice cream again. I've just committed to not having a spoonful every single time. I will have ice cream when I want, maybe once a month or something like that, and have a bowl of ice cream and just be realistic about the serving size I'm giving myself and know what I'm consuming, right? Like Mary Gowdy, she has ice cream quite often. I'm not sure exactly what, but I think it's at least several times a week. But she went from having a bowl to having a serving size. So it makes all the difference in the world. She still gets the yumminess, but she's committed to this permanent change, right? It makes drastic difference down the road. It really does. These are the things that can really lead to success and long-term results, sustainable results, because you're not depriving yourself, you're just changing some things. Another thing I do too is I like to make my shakes the night before for breakfast and like my collagen drink. So when I wake up, everything's ready to go. There's no reason not to have it right away. So I'll do that in the evening, and maybe I'm making dinner and cleaning up as I go, so there's dishes to do. So I like to listen to music because that puts me in a good mood, gives me more energy. I'm dancing around, so I'm more active. So I'm getting my chores done, but I'm in a better mood about it, right? And I'm a little more active. And then sometimes, oh, this song's great. I have to listen to that before I turn it off. Whereas before, I would be done and be sitting down watching TV, right? Just saying. So that's kind of been a big change for me. It's been great. Um, so that brings me, speaking of TV and listening to music and things like that, like what are you doing with your time? Um, is how you're spending your time supporting your new habits or your old habits, right? So like I was talking about the happy hour, that's probably not supporting your new goals and new habits, unless you change your whole focus about what the event's about, right? just using that as an example. You can still go to happy hour if you want. Um, also like TV. So there's a couple aspects about the TV, right? For me, if I'm watching TV, first off, I'm just sitting there and I want to eat. Something about once I'm in front of the TV, I just want to eat. So like tonight, I'm gonna watch a movie. So yes, I'm gonna have popcorn. Like I know, like there's room in my meal plan to have popcorn, no problem. A lot of bang for your buck with the popcorn. It's one of my favorites. But also, you got to watch. Be cautious, I guess, of what you're watching. Like, what are you letting into your mind? There's a lot of negative stuff on TV these days. And I sound like an old codger, I know, but back in my day, it wasn't like that so much. I'm not saying it was so much better, but it was like, let's face it, some of the stuff that's on TV today wouldn't have even been in an R-rated movie back when I was younger. So you really got to kind of watch it, language and all that stuff, and just the whole negativity. It's hard to keep yourself strong and maintain healthy habits when you're letting unhealthiness into your mind. I don't think that's even a proper structure of a sentence, but just you know what I'm talking about, right? Um, so that leads me to what you're feeding your mind, right? So in the morning, I listen to on my phone. I have Audible, so I can get books, download books, and I also listen to YouTube a lot of times. But I listen to people like Zig Ziglar or Brene Brown. Who else? Oh gosh, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. But I like to listen to that like 30 minutes in the morning because that just is positive. It's personal development, and it helps me to think positively and have positive self-talk instead of negative. If you like to read, there's also obviously they are in book form. So this is whoops, I'm covering the wrong part. Oh well, we're adults here, right? Anyway, I love Jen Sincera because she, especially if you're new to personal development, because she talks about when she first started and her skepticism, like what is this all about? But she's funny, she's great. And there's also some other great ones. Dale Carnegie. This book's been in print, I think, since like the 30s. Great, because like who doesn't worry, right? And this is also another role with Napoleon Hill. He's like the granddaddy of personal development. So that's good stuff. So you feed your mind with great things. Also, this book is fantastic. It talks about the emotional part of losing weight, right? Because why do we know things like we know donuts aren't the healthiest choice? Why do we eat them anyway? She covers a lot of those things. So it's a really good book. I also like to read for pleasure, right? So if you do too, find a topic that you either want to learn about or a topic that you're passionate about. You're never going to believe what I have a whole bunch of. Dog books, of course, right? Because I love dogs. I always want to read all things dogs, right? Like this is my coffee table book. Of course it is, right? Who doesn't have that on their coffee table? Whereas before, I used to only read books like this, which I gotta say I still do. But like these are crime novels. And John Grisham, is about attorneys and stuff like that. But they tend to be scary, and I don't know scary, but they're not necessarily positive. So I have to have less of these and more of stuff like this that I'm putting into my mind, right? Same thing with TV. Be very cautious of what you're watching. Because these are commitments you can make too that are very important. Like what you're feeding your mind is as important as what you're feeding your body for lifelong changes, right? Also, like who are you hanging out with? You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if they're super negative or saying, "Oh, you're done with that challenge. Come on, let's go out for nachos and beer and whatever, pizza," you know, sometimes they can drag you back into that. And sometimes maybe they're not being so blatantly sabotagey, but it can be they cannot even mean it, but they're unwittingly maybe pulling you farther from your goals instead of towards your goals, right? So try to limit time spent with people who are not a positive influence. Okay, do me a favor, you guys. I know that was kind of a lot, but do me a favor and comment below and let us know what are you committing to? What is the permanent change that you're committing to and that you really are serious about what you really mean. All right. Thanks, guys.